Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over breach rings, more specifically the breach ring recipe and whether it is worth it or not. So if you don't know what these breach rings are, they drop from breaches. That makes sense. But there is a recipe you can do that'll give you a grasping mail. So we're going to go over in this video whether it's really worth picking up these breach rings. They are, for the most part at this point in the league, hidden on your filter. And what we're looking to get on them, is it profitable, is it worth the clicks, stuff like that. So if you like this kind of content, if this helps you out at all, remember to click the like, subscribe, comment button down below. Also check out my Twitch channel, link down below in the description. And let's get into this. So I've went through and I've collected my breach rings. If you don't see these dropping from breaches, remember that you do have to unhide them from your filter. I believe very strict and above on NeverSync hides them automatically. And you need to get 60 of them. You need to get a full page of them. So once you have 60 of them, what we're going to do is we're going to take them over to any vendor, and we're just going to put them all in here. And this is going to, when we put all 60 of them in here, this is going to give us a grasping mail in return. But it's not just any grasping mail. This is, I believe, this is the only way to get a grasping mail other than maybe dropping from Shaluya. But it has the potential, it'll have at least one special mod on it. And the one special mod that we are going to look for and hopefully get is 100% global defenses. This is the only one we're really interested in. It's an unidentified grasping mail. We have all 60 in. I do want to pull up this screen real quick. These are the mods that can roll on it. So you can see it has prefixes, suffixes, a lot of them. The one we're looking for is right at the top here. All defenses, 100% increased global defenses. You can't get this mod any other way. Once you roll over this grasping mail, you will no longer be able to re-roll any of these mods back onto it. So that's that. And now we're talking about why this is important. So if it's a good mod, first of all, right? I'll talk about the price of breach rings first. Breach rings are going for, at this point in the league, about 1C. I think towards the beginning of the league, they're going for about 3 to 4C. So that said, I think it should be obvious that the price of these grasping mails has gone down. So an unidentified grasping mail, rare grasping mail, I would say is going for about 40C on average. That puts the actual per price of a breach ring at less than 1C, because we need 60 for one of these grasping mails. Okay, cool. Let's adjust our filter a little bit. Let's look for the global defense mod. Increase global defenses, throw 100. Unidentified, turn that off. Okay, so anything with the global defenses mod, we'll say, is going for 100-ish. Or 1x. We'll say 1x. Minimum. You'll see if some people here have done is they've fractured stuff on here. The best thing you can do, we'll talk about profit-wise and stuff like that. But the best thing we can do is fracture this on here. So if we look at the price of a fractured global defense on a grasping mail, about 90, we'll say 100x. 120, let's say 120x. So you do this with harvest crafting. So you first need to roll this on here, randomly getting it from a grasping mail, and then pay for it to get the 1 in, 4 or 5 chance of hitting this. So step 1, right, here we are. Get our breach rings. Before I click accept this trade, we can do it. We're just gonna get this unidentified. Cool, done. I have an unidentified grasping mail. Let's talk about the cost of getting this. So, on average, I'm basically almost fully spec'd into breach. I'm getting about 3 to 4 rings to breach, sometimes 2, sometimes 5 or 6. RNG, but I'd say on average 3 to 4. About 2 breaches per map, we'll say, if you're using a polished scarab. In the end, that's about 8 to 9 maps until you got 60 of these. I got a few extras from doing Fusion rerolls as well. He can give you breach rings for pretty cheap. So, breach rings cost about 1C, so this is about 1C you're going to pick them up. And you have to find a buyer. There's a ton of them available for 1C, so you may not be able to sell them. That's why I think you're better off just going for the gamble, going for the grasping mail, and seeing what happens. That's what we're going to do. Let's do that right now. Let's identify this thing, prepare for disappointment. And we hit... Oh, we hit 100% global defenses. Look at that. Okay. So this is pretty good. We're pretty happy with this. So you'll see we'll hover over this. I'm using Skin of Lords right now. We'll hover over this. 100% global defense right at the top. It's a prefix modifier of Cholula. It's the only special one we hit, I believe. But basically, if we re-roll this now, we will never get that 100% increased global defenses again. It is out of the pool. We can't roll it. So we hit what we want to do. This thing's probably worth like an X. This is not your average. This is not your average result. But I think it's worth the gamble. Go for it. If you are collecting breach rings, we gotta talk about, is it even worth picking these up? Is it worth picking these up? If you're running in breach, you're getting a lot of XP, a lot of drops, hopefully. Breach is pretty popular, endgame farming strategy, just throw it on part of the map. If you're doing it, and you are collecting a lot of loot that's better than 1C, it's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth all the little micro clicks, and then storing them in a separate tab. If you're just hard farming maps, I would say probably not worth it. At this point in the league. Earlier in the league, when breach rings were 3 to 4 C a piece, and grasping males were way more than this, 100% this was worth it. And let's just look at like just a level 83 grasping male with 100% gold defenses. Sweet, we hit pretty good. But it's a lot of clicks. You have to mess with your loot filter a little bit. You have to store these in a tab. You have to pick them out. Vendor, it's like a lot of micromanaging to get this done. So is it worth it in the end? At this point in the league, probably not. My conclusion is probably not worth it at this point in the league. Early in the league, sure. Right now, probably not. Either way, is it good to know how this works? Absolutely, because I think this is more of a beginning stage of the league strategy. You can make some quick currency. But for now, my conclusion is no, not worth it. Just kind of a fun thing to do. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this one up quick. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, comment down below and know anything about the strategy. But I'll probably be done collecting these things for a while now, at least until next league. So thanks for watching. Bye.